This is the story of my life, kind of in a nutshell. When I was a very young child, my father tried to barter me to the Mennonites over a 5 gallon bucket of marijuana, a 24 pack of Budweiser, and told us that if we didn't, we'd better. I had told the young man that I'd be doing our 30s, and he come right around the side of me, all smiles, and, well, we didn't do it in our 30s because all the guys that were around my dad's house, my mom's house, were like, let's go party here, let's go do this, that, there. Not really trying to take me to God's house. Thankfully, the first boyfriend that I had, we told the biggest fib about losing our virginities together for years. um, but we weren't that, I mean, we fooled around with it, but we didn't. Didn't lose my virginity until I was 17. Um, So after high school, I start working in a factory. I get a job at a hotel, and I date somebody who's 16 years older than me. And at the time, I didn't see a problem, but I was 18, and 16 years older than me means that Mr. Cross was actually a pedophile, but looked at it like I was in the age of consent. So I guess it didn't look that way to everybody. Okay, well, then I meet this manager at a hotel. She's like, hey, go work on Mackinac. So I go work on Mackinac the end of summer, right after I graduate high school. And that's where I meet a 6 time convicted felon with a felony warrant out of Florida. Did not know this. Okay, so I get hired at these two hotels, the Lilac Tree Hotel and Conference Center and the Chippewa Hotel that's right on the water. And both managers are fucking retarded and do not say a word about how corrupt it is that they're not caring about background checks on people. This is a tourist island. People come there to spend money. They have money. They're not expecting somebody to rip them off or rip the establishment off that they work, but people do for two juices here or there. That's how I found out the person I was with had made extra money on the island, as we are in Florida now. Florida. This dirty cop at the post office. Okay? We get pulled over at the post office. He lets me go inside and drop off my letters because I had bills to pay with what money I had, from when I left the island. My paycheck had come in. I cashed it, made money orders just because I was trying to settle off some of my little piddly bills. And I come outside, and he jacks me in my arm and dumps the ashtray in my purse and pulls out a keepsake paper from the Steve Miller Band concert on my 18th birthday. We went to Purple East. Paul Braybrook, Brenda Braybrook from Sparta McDonald's, her son took me there, and I kept one paper for that skate park thing. There is no admission ticket or anything like that when you go in there. So as like my little keepsake, I stuck it in my wallet, and this dirty cop dumps the ashtray into my purse and pulls out this paper. Well, then my ex pays money for my bail, and the bail bonds company is like, he threw Sean's wallet, this boy's wallet, into my purse as we're being arrested. Okay, so now I've got this person's wallet that's not mine, that's not opened up, not looked at, not inventoried in my property. Now, I don't know if the officer stole $100 or Intake did. I don't believe that Intake would steal money if he was already the type of cop to dump an ashtray into the passenger's purse. I did not know this person for shit, and what little bit of the onion peel was being exposed. Oh my gosh. I'm so far away from Michigan. Okay? This bail bonds company is like, either you take the money in his wallet and get back on the plane and get on a plane and head to Michigan, or you stay here and get fucked. Well, staying there, nobody offered to tell me to put money in his property. Nobody offered to help me get my property from the vehicle that was in impound. So all of my possessionals, they would have me just leave there. My social security card, all the important things that I've got, birth certificates, whatever I had that were vital records, they foolishly thought that I would leave it there and take over a felony's worth of money from this person and go back to Michigan. So they were trying to coerce a child into taking money. Over $1,300, $1,400 is what I had in Sean's wallet. We had $1,500 just before we started. Now, when we started out leaving the hotel that day to go job hunting and to talk to an attorney from what he had stated he wanted to do. Now, I spent years in Florida explaining to this big, fat, nasty, dumb-ass, corrupt probation officer, Kim, who chose to not start the investigation into the dirty cop, into the theft, and even profess, hey, This particular young lady's had nothing on her criminal record. We should get this out of here because this person had a fugitive warrant and he was up here. She said something to the employees that had zero integrity to say, hey, I don't want birds of that flock up here. I'm not chancing the safety. But come to find out, the manager of the sister property, the Lilac Tree, was giving alcohol to minors in the housing for the employees to keep the minors on the island. Okay, so now I've been victimized by my dad. I've been victimized by Mackinac Island employment. Okay, lack of policing there, dereliction of duty, gross criminal negligence by the police department and by the hotel staff. Okay. This felon has been allowed to be in Michigan from the beginning of summer all the way up until September, October when I left the island. So I had the chance to meet him because they had gone months and probably years beforehand without running them background checks, having fugitives harbored on the island. Okay, so now I'm a victim of the islands harboring the fugitive. We're at the wedding, we're at the hand now, okay? We got 5 issues, and my ass ain't even 22 years old. I decide that I'm gonna leave Florida and come back to fucking Michigan. I tell my probation officer, screw you, I'm fucking done. This is some bullshit. You are not turning this where it needs to go. Nigger bitch. And she was a white lady. Big, fat, nasty white lady, too. Nigger bitch, all right? Thinking her paycheck and her job and her ever-widening paycheck raising ass was somehow above doing the right thing. Now, when I leave, somebody fucks with my vehicle. They put sugar in my gas tank, spin the bearings out of the engine of my car. We all know that spinning the bearings out, that does come from some idiot messing with you while you were trying to sleep. I owed money on that vehicle. So now we're at number 6 where somebody has tampered with my vehicle. I got stuck out in the middle of nowhere. People were trying to help me, but the only job that I could find was dancing. So now here I am. Getting fucking danced to make my money. I met a nice person, or I thought was a nice person, who was in my peer group. Got degraded, belittled, berated, money thrown at me like I was a whore or something, when literally I'm like, hey, I'm not from here. I'm trying to get home. Like, can you just ask your mom and dad if I can sleep on the floor at the foot of their bed? I don't want to take my clothes off for money. Like, can you please just, like, help me? Fuck you, whore! Fuck you, whore! Fuck you, whore! Acting just like that shit. Okay, so I'm thinking this little man's on drugs behind me. I have no idea. I'm just like, holy fuck. I'm around adults that are not behaving themselves, stranger adults. Okay, so this gentleman's got a daughter. She coming to visit. This other person, she's cheating on her husband with somebody that's in the mechanic shop. So there's drama there. And I am having to go to this freaking booby bar and try to come up with $750 to like fix my vehicle. And everybody around me is still trying to push me to keep taking my freaking clothes off. Well, finally, after the fuck you whore asshole, drug abuser, pretty sure, alcoholic, like not himself, scared to ask his dad, Dad, this girl is like our age and the car broke down on the side of the road. Do you know a pantry or know anybody that can like help her out? She said she's from Michigan. She's showing me where she's, trying to head. We can get in touch with her family. No. Was so scared that his dad would whoop his ass for even meeting somebody. Okay? I am not a dancer type. There were girls from school that were more likely to go and flash their tatas at Mardi Gras and everywhere else than Miss Danielle. Okay? We already know this. All right? So just let's keep it real, folks. Now we're moving along. Now at this point in time, I'm like 21, 22 years old. I actually meet a policeman that I fall in love with. And this person is sending his coworkers into my job to see me. Ruining establishments that I've worked at. So I'm losing money while I'm being humiliated by my boyfriend's coworkers or feeling ashamed because my boyfriend's a police officer. You know what I mean? But he's doing this to me deliberately. So then, I got pregnant. We had protected sex through the majority of the 3.5 years that we were together, and he helped me pay to terminate my pregnancy. Didn't take me to the doctor's office or anything like that. When I got morning sickness, he broke up with me, thinking that I was on drugs when literally my tiny, petite, 106-pound rear end was pregnant. Yep. Did the math. 8-week-old fetus of this policeman's is now in a mason jar, and I am just now we're on 10. Okay, so we're at the double fisting of how Miss Danielle's been mistreated. I get back to Michigan. No, you know what? We're just going to take a time out there because we're already at the 10-minute mark, and I'm only 22.